Alright YouTube, BigJermsGarage here. I just made a video a minute ago about a Polaris that I just recently bought, and I figure I'd do a quick update video of the shop. It's snowing crazy over here in Richmond, Virginia. Got this heater going for a little bit. I don't want to run it too long, and maybe I'll start having issues from inhaling the fumes. But I've got this 200 SX that's been kind of sitting over here in the corner. Stuff piled up on it for a while. It did not have a tank when I got it, but I just bought a tank off of eBay about a week ago. This tank's been sitting over here for a couple of days with some vinegar in it, trying to eat out some rust. You can look down in it. I'm gonna have to clean that out a little bit. It was actually looking pretty good, and then I decided to put more in it, and kind of started to look rough again. But I need to get a brush and kind of brush that stuff out, move this around some. But that four-wheeler runs, it drives. It's got an issue with shifting. I think it might be the return spring on the shift shaft, and it is causing issues because you can, when you go to shift it, the shifter kind of stays up. It doesn't want to go back down into its new its regular position. But now that I got the tank, I'm going to get that on there once it's cleaned out and get that spring fixed. These dirt bikes have been sitting here for months. I haven't touched those in a while. I've got this 02 Polaris. Last time I went riding to test it out, a seal in the transmission right here on that shaft started leaking. So I've actually got the seal. I just got to get it, put it in. I'm actually letting my brother's going to do that pretty soon. But this one runs good. Just got to get that fixed. The 2000 Polaris right next to it. This one runs great. Just needs the brakes fixed. The brake caliper that was on it, the piston was stuck in. Took that off. This is off of the Polaris up there. This one doesn't work either. And I had a couple other ones that I tried and couldn't get those to work. An issue that I had was this brake line was clogged up right about here. I unclogged that. And then the brake line going from the little junction box to the rear caliper was blocked, so I took that off the other night and unclogged that. So I've actually ordered another master cylinder for $100. I mean, those things are outrageous, but hopefully once I get the right master cylinder for it, hopefully it works. So all this thing needs is some brakes and put it back together. The tank and everything's off of it just so I could get to the brakes. Over here, this has been a long project, but I'm hoping to get a lot done on it tonight. This Honda runs good. I just need to get the brakes straight. The other day, I'll walk in here and show you. I tried bleeding the front brakes, and it would build up pressure, then lose it. And this brake line, right down here, it kind of loops over, and right on top of that loop, it had a hole in it. So I've actually ordered another brake line, and I got that. I'm going to switch over tonight. So once that's got the front brakes, all I got to do is figure out the back brakes. Pretty much the cables are just all stiff, and the brake pedal is stiff, so I'm going to pull it off and clean it up so it's loose again, so it moves freely when you want to use it. I just made a video of this Polaris. This one I picked up this past weekend for $275. I think, yeah, $275. Needs the top end, but other than that, it's a 2002, ready to go. Just gotta get the engine straight. See the right there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna look for another cylinder with piston ready to go off eBay and maybe get some new rings, or actually get that one bored out. We'll have to see. Here we have the Honda 400EX that's kind of been sitting here for a while. That one, the previous owner somehow messed up most of the head bolts. Most of the head bolts one was broken off in the head, one of the bolts were. A lot of the head bolt holes are all worn out. So my cousin actually has that at his machine shop, and he's trying to fix the head bolts for me, the bolt holes. So once I get that straight, that'll go back together and be ready to go as well, hopefully. Let's see. This 96 Trailblazer here. I've been using this one for parts for the other Trailblazers. This one, tonight I'm actually going to try to get it down, get all the parts off it, get them in that bucket, so I can get my workbench, or my lift this here back again. And then we got the Recon 250. I haven't touched that. That's the motor for it. The piston blew up on it. There's that, and this E-ton, which is the motor's locked up, and some other junk. I've got tons and tons of parts here that I need to get apart and get on eBay. It's a DR 200 motor. There's another Rancher 350 motor. I got a bunch of Badger motors, TTR 125 motor. You know, I was really surprised that gear shift, the kickstart right there, $40. I sold one on eBay, and that was actually really low. So I might get that off tonight and list that thing also. I think they go all the way up to like 80 bucks, which I was really surprised. Somebody bought a bunch of parts from me off eBay, and he got that. I kind of threw that in there with cheap, 40 bucks, which actually I thought was kind of expensive, but it seemed to be the lower end of the prices. But we got XR 250 wheel, a Buell Blast motor that we've gotten with the trade. Those are some old motors that I've had. This is CR 250 bottom end, and then that's a Polaris 500 Scrambler bottom end, and then some Rancher parts. All kinds of parts I need to go through and clean this area up. But this is kind of where I store my parts as I get ready to take pictures, and I usually take pictures over here, either on this mat or up in this tub. But yeah, I know a lot of you have been asking, or had asked, for videos on, you know, doing the brakes or doing stuff. And to be honest, you know, I've got a full-time job and I've got 3 kids at home, and for me to get actual time over here in the shop is difficult. So usually when I get over here, I'm in a hurry, and I either forget the camera or I just don't have time to mess with the camera. So for those of you that have asked for certain videos, I do apologize. I'm just usually in a hurry trying to get stuff done, but because I don't have a lot of time. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick update, and I probably should get some work done. Tonight, as I said, it's snowing. They're calling for a bunch of snow, like 10 inches or so. I looked out here a minute ago, but I mean, it was snowing like crazy. I'm gonna look out here now and see. Kind of hard to see. It's definitely still snowing, but it's about 8:30, almost 9 o'clock. I think it's supposed to snow until midnight, and then switch over to ice, and then freeze and rain, and then back to snow, and do some stuff tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let me get to work on this Rancher and on that taking that thing apart to get it out of my way. And I need to get that heater turned off before I suffocate in here, pass out. So this thing works good. You know, the strange thing is we're actually borrowing that from my brother's boss, and I've looked at Home Depot and Lowe's and all around trying to find one, but they're all sold out. That thing works pretty good. I've had it running for about maybe 10 minutes. And it's got this whole place, you know, pretty warm. It's about 25 degrees outside. So I'll probably turn it off for a little bit and then crank it back up later if it starts to get cold again. But anyway, thanks for watching Big Jerm's Garage, and catch you next time.